Hello, welcome to the next edition of the Monday special. So, we're going to take the final premise of the deck that Boros Heroic that we played earlier this season, made some modifications to it. Let's see if it can compete in today's Magic. We will be doing this in Explorer, so hopefully we do quite well. It's pretty sweet deck since you can play it in Pioneer or Explorer, since every card is available. So, we'll see how it actually pans out. So I made some modifications. I upped my creature count. I went down the card that gives vigilance and a counter. So with flashback, I cut that card completely to add another creature. So we'll see how that works out. But if you like Boros Heroic, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so we alert for future videos. Since this is going to be one of my primary decks, you're going to be seeing this deck a lot more often if you like this deck. So make sure you sub. We're on our way to 1,000 subs. Let's get there together. And let's get into the deck list. So the deck list, we have 4 Hoplite, 4 Swifties, 2 Arcanus, 4 Illuminators, 4 10th District. Pretty stock, I think. Sometimes you see one less 10th District, but I feel like after playing a league also, like I felt like you really need the 18 creatures. There was many times I just had a maul because of not having any creature at all in my hand. So now I wanted to try out and see, is Invigorated Rampage, is it obsoleted completely? So this normally would be the 2 slots, that Homestead, I believe it's Homestead Courage, would take. So let's see if it actually still has the ability to compete in Pioneer and / Explorer. Everything else, for the most part, is pretty stock of this deck. Like usually you play 4 strikes, 4 angers, 4 rages, 4 rages. So sideboard wise, usually Infusion is a decent card. It's an answer to an elf. It's also a pump spell. So that makes it really versatile. We have Light of Hope as a way to add a counter to something. Also Enchantment Hate. We also play Destroy Evil. We have 2 escapes for the Rakdos mid-range matchup and anything that has heavy amounts of removal. 2 volleys for the aggro matchups because most of the aggro matchups are Boros or white, so it helps in both of those matches. 1 Rest in Peace for the Grease Fang / Phoenix matchup. 3 Showdown in the Skulls for control / Rakdos mid-range. That is our Boros Heroic deck we're trying out today. Let's see the deck in action. Sacred Foundry, Hoplite, you. Mountain, Epicure, passes. Swifty, go to combat, hit ya. Takes it. Sacred Foundry tap, go. Cracks the blood. Sacred Foundry, Epicure, passes. Put that on white. Go to combat, hit ya. Blocks. We'll go ahead and shoot the other Epicure and pump the Swifty. And then we just pass, leave up Reckless Rage. Cracks a blood token. Passes. Anger. Put that on red. 10th District. Hit ya. Pass the turn. Scoops it up. Alright, so that was best of 1 by accident. Let's get into a best of 3 match and see the deck in action. Pathway on white. Hoplite, go. Plays a canal, a drum. Passes. Hoplite. Hitcha. Plaza. Magda. Makes a treasure, adds a blue. Rona. Hitcha. Pass the turn. Breeding Pool, Kinnan. Taps Magda. Makes a treasure. Adds 2 blue. Another drum. Combat Courier. Put God's Willing. Grow the Dork. Say blue. We found a land that's good. Go to combat. Hit ya. Play Illuminator. Pass. Cracks the Courier. Draws. Taps, adds 2 blue. Okay. Loots. Has 4 mana to his mana pool. Gets rid of an extra Kennen. Paradox Engine. Loots. Question, is this infinite or close to it? Snare. Untaps everything. Okay, makes another token. Brings back Courier. Sacks the Courier. We definitely need to end this game this turn. Loots. Gets rid of a drum. Found another courier. Untaps. Taps and taps. Taps. Cracks. Draws. Loots. This might be tricky. Karn. Is this over with? What do you reveal with Karn? Statue. So that's like a free roll. So he has enough treasure now. Returns the Karn. Maybe I had to get rid of the cannon. But then I would only have to do, I could only do one spell that turn. Alright. Goes digging. Gets a Portal of Sanctuary. Okay, returns. Makes another treasure. It's an interesting deck right here. I think I'm just off. Okay, so artifacts matter. Maybe some volleys for removal. Cannon, everything is not for power. Infusion is an option. So I think we go down the anger and run it like that. Pathway on white, Hoplite, go. Canal, prototype, seems sweet. We untap and draw a Willing. Let's grow the Hoplite. Hit you for 5, pass the turn. Sanctum, passes. Ray, Forge, hit ya, pass the turn. Breeding Pool, Snare, passes. Let's go ahead and Willing. Grow it. Try to see what we find. I don't want a pathway. Swifty, that's fine. Play Swifty. Hit you for 5. Pass the turn. Island. Plays a Chariot. Passes. Let's go ahead and target the Hoplite. I will name green. Don't need a tent district. Attempt to snipe. Force you to turn on your Chariot if you want to. Play another Hoplite. And hit you for 6. Besage blows up the trample. We will take the action, grab a Sacred Foundry tapped. Hit you to 2. So he needs basically to combo this turn. Or deal with my board. At least the 5/6. Tap Sanctum. Passes. We draw a Forge. Attempt to attack. Blocks. Otawara. Okay. Pass the turn. He needs another threat or a removal spell. Right, he taps down his Chariot, plays a Engine, plays a Courier, passes. Rage, that should win. Attack. Put the counter there and give it trample. And win. Sweet. I'm going to go down the Rampage, up the Anger. At least this was a card draw. And I'm going to down a Hazard up at Anger. Run it like that. Breeding Pool, Drum. Passes. Foundry. Hoplite, go. Otawara, that's good. That means it's not interacting with us. Taps the Rona. Plays a prototype. Passes. We draw a land. That's perfect. So let's go ahead and get rid of the Rona. And let's leave up a God's Willing. And say go. Plaza. Magda. He has 1 card left. Makes a drawer. Makes a treasure by tapping the Magda. What's your last card? Passes. Swifty. Let's go ahead and put a counter on the Hoplite. Grow it. Pass the turn. We need to close this game out before he draws out of this situation. This Rage will help. And there's some slight modification I need to do. Jingato's not showing up over here, so I'll have to deal with that between this game and the next. He's desperately looking around, so he must not have much. Relic. Passes. That's not helpful. Swifty. Go to combat. Attack. Blocks there. Let's go ahead and put it on the other Swifty. Same amount of damage, I believe. Because it still lives. Yeah, take 8. Okay. Gives it Hex Indestructible. And we say go. So he has to draw something amazing this turn. Okay, taps. Monogda makes a treasure. What are you playing? Use prototype. A chariot. Okay, so means these two will get blocked. And he scoops it up. So 1-0 with best of 3 and 1-1 best of 1. Let's get into the next. Forward, say go. I'm going to try out and see if it looks better with me up here. So let me know down in the comment section if you prefer me in the top right corner. Slide a hand? Sure. Did not draw land. Pass. Steam Vents. Passes. Rampage. Go. This is probably Phoenix. Charm. Passes. Oh my gosh, another non-land card. We pass. I guess get rid of Rampage. I don't really have a choice. Consider. Magically finds a third Arclight Phoenix. All 4. Passes. We finally find the land. So let's play Illuminator. Gazes. Gets rid of a lightning axe. That means he must have a removal spell in his hand. Plays a pathway on red. Thing in the ice. Passes. Put that on red. Anger. Let's get rid of the anger. That grows it by 2. Go to combat. Attack. Go ahead and attempt to rage. Connive. There's the impulse. So that means I fizzle my not a bad move. So now if I have to do this, I have to name it Pro Red. So we will get rid of a Tint District. We have to name red. Rage isn't bad. Get rid of a strike and hit you for 12. Pass the turn. There's an impulse. Is it charm? Passes. So we'll play Legionnaire. Attempt to pump. We will take another dork. Just in case. Hit ya. Are we really going to beat him? Okay. Reveler. Gets rid of his last card. Draws 3. Otherworldly Gaze. So is he going to get to the point where he can get back his 3 Phoenixes? Probably. He could just gaze again if he really wants. Yeah, that gets the Phoenixes. So that's 12 points of damage. Never mind. Play Swifty. Grow the Swifty. Hit ya. And get game 1? Really? Okay. Against Phoenix, we bring in Rest in Peace. Volley. Escape. Maybe Infusion. Where do we go down? We go down Anger. Arcanist. And Rampage. I don't like that. Okay, now. Passes. Play Hazard as a land. Say go. Gets rid of a charm. Draws a card. Hall of the Storm Giants. Passes. Vantage. Illuminator. Say go. Probably has a removal spell. Yep. Next turn we have Illuminator plus Escape. Considers. Likes what he's drawing. Pathway on blue. Ops. Puts it on top and draws it. Passes. Okay. Planes. Illuminator. We say go. Is it charm? We protect it. I think I get rid of the Foundry, even though it doesn't grow them. I don't need another Rage. Considers. Gets rid of a Gaze. Sleight of Hand. If you have removal, you probably should do it now. Well, I don't have any protection spells. Lightning Axe. Gets rid of an Otawara. We play a land, put Jeff in hand, say go. Thing in the ice. Tap land. I think I strike to draw a card. Pathway on red. Play Jeff. Say go. Another lightning axe. Or hovering over it. We do need to find a creature. As soon as we do, I think we can put this game away. Okay, there's a creature. We say go. Gazes. Removes a counter. Okay, abrades. Let's attempt to put a counter on it. Probably gonna bounce it. Get rid of a rage. For a red. Hoplite, that's fine. Passes. Forge. Play Hoplite. Go to combat. Attack. Attempts to gaze. That means we get to put it on the Illuminator. Connive. Get rid of a Hoplite. So he gets the gaze. Hit you for 6. Say go. Sleight of hand. Passes. Okay. Go to combat. Hit you. Brazen Borrower. Target the Illuminator. Draw and get rid of the Rage. Say pro blue. Probably don't need that. So that fizzles. Let's go ahead and grow the Illuminator. Yeah, grow it. Boom, lethal. Sweet. 2-0. Let's get into the last match. Blood Crypt passes. Tap Foundry, go. Swamp passes. Vantage, hop, Tent District. Bone Crusher. Cliffs, Graveyard Trespasser. He's the Tent District. Vantage, Hoplite. Say go. Haunted Ridge, go for the throat. Let's go ahead and target it. Alright, so he's using 2 removal spells. I guess that works. Okay, eats my threat out of the yard. Take 3. Anger. So if you play Sakasan, put Jegs in hand. Say go. Swamp. Croxa. Alright, so with that on the stack, what we're going to do is we're going to hazard. And we'll pitch Anger. And that goes to exile. Hits me. Bone Crusher. Forge. Jegs. Say go. Seriously, you have another removal spell? Hits me for 7. Each Jegs. We're down to 3. So I think I guess I could play it Hoplite. That's not helpful. So we're going to die regardless. Yeah. Alright. Scoop it up. Alright, so we bring in Scalds. Destroy Evil. Escape. What are we going down? Rampage. Anger. And a Rage, I think. I don't like that. Vantage. Swifty. Say hit you. Say go. Blood Crypt. Fatal Push. Duress. Takes my escape. Forge. Illuminator. Hit ya. Tap land. Put this on red, I guess. Swifty. Hit ya. Say go. Swamp. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Passes. Hit ya. Play another Illuminator. Say go. Draws a couple cards. Sakasan. Goes to combat. Hits me. Let's block. I assume this means a Wrath's coming inbound. Fatal Pushes. A Swifty. That's fine. Bone Crusher. That one we'll save. A Braid. So he wastes all of his removal. We don't need to destroy evil. Play the land. Play another Illuminator. Hit you. Pass. Castle. Graveyard Trespasser. We really need a non-creature spell here. That counts. Let's go ahead and target the Illuminator. Blocks. Play Arcanist. Say go. Another Trespasser. We don't really have any creatures though. We do have Illuminator, I guess. And a Hoplite. That's fine. So he attacks, and that's... What are you going to eat though? You eat the Strike. Take it. That's fine. Rage. So we'll target the Arcanist. That's the bottom. So he blocks there. That's fine. Illuminator does his thing. And smack you to death. Get game 2. Run it back. Thoughtseize. That's a really bad card against me. Gets rid of the Arcanist. I don't want to reveal that I drew that. I don't think I have to worry about my life total at all. Swifty. Hitcha. Takenuma. Pathway. Swifty. Go to combat. Hitcha. Play Hoplite. Say go. Bridge. Hijitsu consumes all. Grasp my board. Play a land. Go ahead and play Tint District. Ping my Legionnaire. Do not need that. Hit you for 3. We have a removal spell. Of course you do. And we draw a God's Willing, because that's just like a rub in my face. Put Jegs in hand. Say go. Flip Sejitsu consumes all. Blood Tithe Harvester. Say go. Kill the Vessel. Thought seizes me. Takes the Willing, I assume. Nope, takes Jegs. Pass the turn. Duress. Takes a Willing. No, takes a Rage. Hits me. Come on, give me a creature. Hoplite. Say go. Go for the throat. Protect it. You have a Fatal Push. Showdown is so good, but it's so awkward. We don't have the lands. Ridge. EE for odd. Hits me to 9. Alright, deck. We need to draw a land next. Or a creature. Something. We need it. You can't turn on a Den and hit me for 7. Actually, I think we're just gone. Trespasser. Hits me to 8. Drains me to, I should say, and hits me to 5. Illuminator. Say go. But now he just turns on the Den and wins. Goes to combat. Attacks. Block. Attempt to go for a protection spell. Alright, Bone Crusher. Sure. And we get rubbed in our face because there's the land. Alright, so we ended with a 2-1 record from best of 3 and a 1 record, 1-0 record from best of 1. Let's get into the wrap up. So what did we learn this week about this deck? Overall, we did okay with it, right? We did better than average, right? We did 2-1. We faced Phoenix. We lost to Rakdos mid-range. But, I mean, that's one of our worst matchups, just to be frank. So, but ironically, though, what didn't showcase in this video was a Golgari mid-range matchup. I didn't realize I had editing errors or recording errors from OBS Studio. So I didn't notice that I won game. I just crushed him game 1 through a Glissa, but I didn't notice that I had an error. So I ended up winning the match, but I didn't get it recorded. So take that how you want, but I think we did okay. It was pretty powerful beating Glissa and the brand new, 3-2 for 2. Dreadwood Moss Knight, Mosswood Dread Knight. Felt pretty good beating those 2 cards, which I think Mosswood is a pretty good Magic card, and so is Glissa. So I think Golgari midrange / Abzan midrange is getting some tools to combat Rakdos midrange, even though Rakdos midrange just got a brand new card to replace Dreadbore. But this deck felt pretty much on par. Rampage, I'm not sure about. I'm not really a fan of Courage either. Courage is only good against the aggro matchups where you kind of want to attack and leave something back so you don't get, so you don't die on the crackback. But honestly, I'm not sure if this deck actually could beat Boros Convoke. So it's kind of tricky, right? We could of course beat something like Mono White where they don't necessarily go wide that fast, but so I definitely want to keep playing more with this deck. Like I said, this is my primary go-to deck going forward. So I'm curious to see how this deck pans out in the long term. It's fun to pilot overall. So if you're looking for an aggro deck in Pioneer and you want to play the best version of aggro, consider picking up this list. This list, not maybe necessarily the rampages, but the flex spot. I think that's what I would call those two. Is the rampage slots are the flex spots. So if you do face a heavy amount of Rakdos midrange in your meta, you might want to make a protection spell. That's another thing to keep in mind. So if you're heavy in a Rakdos midrange meta, normally you probably would just cut the hazards and run the white protection land in DFC. That's the other card that comes in. So like you shift these 4 slots around depending on what kind of meta you have. So other than that, like I said, the sideboard felt pretty decent. Light of Hope maybe isn't worth it. We do have Destroy Evil as well. So if you have any considerations at all for Boros Convoke, let me know down in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification before you head out that door. And until next time, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.